Hi everyone, welcome to Caltex Academy. Today we're looking at solution to quadratic equations by completing the square method. In our previous video, we looked at solution to quadratic equation using factorization method. In case you are curious to see that video, I have left some link in this description of the video, or you can also check it at this card here I've just linked in the right corner of this video. So without further ado, let's dive in the next board. So in this question, we have x squared plus 4x minus 12 equals 0. So the first step for us to do when solving quadratic equation using completing the squared method is to ensure that the coefficient of the leading term is 1. And for our question here, indeed it is 1, so we are good to go. Then the second step is to make sure that the constant is in the right hand side. So let's do that by taking it to the right hand side. So we can copy our x squared plus 4x equals positive 12. Now after this, the third step is to identify the coefficient of x, which means the middle term from the left hand side, and then get a half of its coefficient, square that half, then add on both sides. Like if we have a package here, we also have another package here. So a half of 4 is 2, and then we square this on either side and we add on both sides. So that is what is meant in the third step. After here, we can simplify both the right hand side and the left hand side. So we have here x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 12 plus 4. Then from the left hand side, we can complete the square. How do we complete square? Very easy. What we have to do is to pick one of the x from the leading term and place it here. Then we go inside our half of this coefficient, which is positive 2. So we can write it here, plus 2. And then we close this bracket. Simply, this is square, so we pick one of the square and then we place somewhere here. Now adding this together, we shall have 16. Now having done this, we go ahead and get square root on both sides. So we can rewrite our work down here. X plus 2 square should be equals to, so for us to get square root, we need either positive or negative of that. So we shall have here from the right hand side positive or negative root of 16. From the left hand side, this is the square root also, and then of course the 2 will vanish with this square root here. Now we're left with x plus 2 equals plus or minus square root of 16 is 4. Now we can gather together our numbers. So from the left hand side we have x equals 2. So this one has transformed to negative, and we have positive or negative 4. So either x is given by negative 2 plus 4 as the upper sign here, and we can simplify down. This one goes to positive 2, or x equals to negative 2, and we can start a lower sign that is negative, also 4, and then if you simplify that, you get negative 6. So these are the solutions for the first part of this equation. Please, if you get a very good value from this video, consider giving it 3 seconds to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share with friends. And without wasting time, let's dive into the next board to see part B of the question. So in part B of the question, it is exactly like what we have just done in our part A. So what we have to do is to also copy the question, and we have here x squared minus 8x plus 13 equals 0. Then the next thing is to take the constant to the right hand side. So we have here x squared minus 8x equals minus 13 as the constant after crossing the equal sign. Now the next one we look into the coefficient of x, and that is negative 8. So a half of negative 8 is negative 4. So we're going to square this number and we add on both sides. So here we have plus into negative 4 also square from the right hand side. So let's go ahead and expand it or simplify. We have the negative 8x. Now the square of negative comes to positive, so we have 16 on the left hand side, and this one is negative 13 plus also 16. Now let's complete the square from the left hand side, and we have here as before, we select one of the x from the square and we take a half of the coefficient of x, and here we have that is 4, and then we square. So this equals to positive 3. Now again we find square root on both sides to eliminate this square. So we have our 3 here, then square root of the left hand side plus or minus square root of the right hand side. So if we go ahead from the left hand side, we're left with only x minus 4 equals plus or minus root 3. Since this 4 is not a square number, let us just leave it in a flat form. Now moving on here, we have x selecting like terms, so result into positive 4 plus or minus root 3. Having done this, we can now look at the individual solutions, saying either x equals to 4, considering the upper sign that is positive, then we have root 3, and then when we simplify out this, we realize that we have 5.7. Then let's consider the lower sign. So we have here x equals 4 minus root 3. So if we again simplify this from our calculator, we get 2.3. So these are the solutions for the second part of this question. Again, I think we're moving on very well. In case if you have any question, please don't hesitate to drop it in the comment section so that I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So let's dive into the next board and continue to part C of this question. So in part C of this question, it is quite unique from the first two questions. And what is the uniqueness about? Now we consider the coefficient of the leading term is more than 1. So for this kind of question, it's not all that very difficult. It's just something doable, and what we have to do is to make sure that this coefficient is 1. By doing so, we have to divide throughout by 2. So when you divide the first term here by 2, you will be left with x squared. Then the second term by 2, we shall get here 9 all over 2 x, then plus 9 also by 2, we have 9 over 2 equals 0. Now as before, we need to take this new constant to the right hand side, so we shall have still from our left hand side as x squared plus 9 over 2 x equals, so here we have negative 9 over 2. So we also go ahead and get a half of this number and then square it. We also add on both sides. So what we have to do here is half of 9 over 2 is just like multiplying this number by half. a half. So we have here 9 over 4, and this number is to be squared. So we also add to the right hand side where we have our 9 over 4 also square. So having done this, then we can simplify this side and also the same to the right hand side. So we have here x squared plus 9 over 2 x plus, so we can use distributive law where the power is also to this 9 and this same power is to the denominator 4. So when we square 9 we get 81 over squaring 4 we get 16 equals negative 9 over 2 plus, so this is the same thing, 81 over 16. Now let's simplify the right hand side as well as completing the squares from the left hand side. So we pull one of this x, then we take the half of that coefficient of x, that is 9 over 4, then we close this bracket and we square. So having done this, we'll go ahead and get the LCM of these two numbers, and that is 16. So 16 divided by 2, we have here 8. So 8 times 9, we get 72, and this should be negative. So plus, we have here 16 by 16 goes 1 times 81, we also have 81. And if we simplify this, we get here 9. Now let's maybe push it forward to this side, and we have our x plus 9 over 4 squared. This should be equivalent to 9 over 16. So from here we can get roots on both sides. What is the square root of the left hand side? It should be just only those terms in the bracket, and for the right hand side we also have either positive or negative of what we have here. So we can move on, and left hand side will just simplify to x plus 9 over 4. So from the right hand side we have positive or negative. Square root of 9 is 3, and square root of 16 we have 4. So let's collect like terms, and we have here x equals to negative 9 over 4 plus or minus 3 over 4. And since we have 4 as the denominator and it's common to both of them, we can combine it to 1. So we have here negative 9 plus or minus 3 all over 4. So either x is given by negative 9, and we consider the upper sign, that is positive, plus 3 over 4. When we simplify this one, we will have negative 9 and positive 3. That one yields to negative 6. So negative 6 over 4. And if you reduce this down, you can write as decimal, or you can just leave it as a fraction. So this is negative. In terms of fraction, when you reduce by 2, we have here 3 over 2. Or maybe we can use another color here, and we have at this stage x can also be given by considering the lower sign, and the lower sign is negative, and we have negative 3 all over 4. So since the signs are the same, we can simply add this upper number and maintain the same sign. So we have here negative 12 divided by 4. So if you divide negative 12 by 4, we shall get negative 3. And these are the solutions that satisfy this equation. Now let's move to the last number, and then we see how we are going to go about it. So in our last number, it is just exactly like what we have done in number C, and that is 2x squared plus 4 x plus 2 equals 0. Now we can divide both sides of this equation by 2 to reduce this coefficient to 1. So we have here x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. Then from here we can also take the constant to the right hand side. So the left hand side we're left with x squared plus 2x equals negative 1. Now again we get half of the coefficient of x, which is 1. We square that 1, we add them on the sides. So we have here 1 squared. Squaring 1 will result into 1. So we have x squared plus 2x then plus 1 equals to negative 1 plus 1. So the right hand side will vanish to 0 because they are of equal magnitude but opposite signs. So we have 0, we don't need to worry about this. Then we have to complete the squares on this side here. So we have x plus 1, then we square. So let's also get roots on both sides. So we have here x plus 1 square should be equals to positive or negative 0, but anyway 0 doesn't have those two, positive or negative, so we're just going to square, get square root of 0. So from here the right hand side will vanish to 0 and the left hand side is x plus 1. So let's simplify this little equation and we just simply have x equals to negative 1, and here this is a repeated root. We may, of course, any quadratic equation have two solutions. So this solution for the equation here is just x is doubled. So please, if you get some good value from the video, consider liking it, subscribe to get notification for more interesting videos that I'm going to be posting on daily basis, and share with friends so that they all benefit together. With all this, see you in the next video. We are going to discuss more about the next method, and that is formula method, where the origin comes from this completing the square. So see you in the next one. Ciao.